Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Kobe Fleischman.
Oh, Kobe.
My father was just nifter. Shomer Bellier. Unfortunately, my father, Barry Fleischman, Mordechai Meir ben Binyamin, 66 years old, was nifter. 2 weeks ago after challenging this, he had many wonderful ben Adam Chaveri qualities and was true about chesed, but I wanted to share something else here with you and your chevra. My father made sure to learn Torah every day, no matter what. He wasn't into Gemara, so to speak. He preferred to learn Chumash, Mishnayos, and Halacha. Last Yom Shas, my brother and I asked him if he would come with us. He said that he only wants to come once he's gone through Shas with Daf Yomi. So that day on Brachos Daf Beis, he started the 8-minute Daf, Olav Hashalom. He later started learning it on his own with Art Scroll, but the 8-minute Daf got him started on his Daf Yomi journey. Although he preferred other limudim, he specifically told us they wanted to see all of Torah and he wanted to be able to tell Hashem when he went to Shemayim that he went through all of the Torah at least once. The Musar Haskell here is that, A, it's never too late to start. Here's a man who first committed himself to serious Gemara learning at the age of 61. B, maybe you won't agree to this, but the daf does not have to be 100-year commitment. Even committing to doing one round on the Ferris wheel is a major, major accomplishment. Why not? I agree. You can do other things. I know he broke the rules here, but because he was hoping to get bone marrow transplant, he made sure to go ahead, get ahead in the daf by a few weeks. During Shiva, I found this Gemara in the last daf he learned was Chullin daf tes vav. Unfortunately, he did not make a siyam hashas or noilam hazeh like he so desperately wanted to. But he for sure will be learning the rest of Shas up in Shemayim. I don't know. Okay, that's what he hopes. Thank you for getting him started with the daf, and may we always like to learn through Shas at least once. Kobe Fleischman started Daf Yomi September 2007. Started Daf Yomi with MDY Rosh Hashanah 2021, the pre-computer days. The Musar Haskell is Rabbi Isai for me. Start today. No one knows how long they're going to live. No one has a guarantee for anything. Dear Rebelli, regarding the question that was sent in regard to Tzalik and Michal Shaz with someone in cardiac arrest, I received a bunch of emails on this. Taisus B'Metzia, Daf 114, explains that although Eliyahu is a kohen and therefore not allowed to become Tameh, he's still allowed to perform Tchis HaMesim because he knew that he was able to revive the child and thereby save the child's life.
Thank you.
Rabbi Isai, Moshe Feinstein did not know about this Taisus. Right over his head. Missed it. I'm not making fun of this email. I'm making fun of... If you think that Moshe Feinstein didn't take this into account, then you're Meshuggah. We can see from here that the status of Pikuach Nefesh applies to the son. We can see from the status of Pikuach Nefesh applies to someone who is already dead. Therefore, it's reasonable to assume that it would be permitted. Anyway, I received a whole long email from a doctor who says that Ramosha Tendler went over with Ramosha this thing, and Ramosha took it back because he decided to go with the Harvard way. A whole thing I should.
We didn't mention that until now.
Keep up your tremendous and great work. A Bacher in BMG who watches the daf when he goes home for an off Shabbos, and this one is also. I love this one. Regarding the reaction today's shir to what happened at Kol Chazanish, it's very important to know for those who haven't understood yet. I learned at Kol Chazanish. Wow. The guy who killed at Kol Chazanish, of course, is not an avrich, never was an avrich, and does not come from a religious background. He's known as a mentally unstable person who roams the streets, and most appears to be Haredi, Besuras Toivos, UMA. So you have a guy from BMG, we have a guy from Kol Chazanish. Zachary Steinloff. You don't know what happened over there? A guy in Kol Chazanish was killed in the middle of the day. Somebody came and stabbed him. I'm sure good. They caught him.
Over a Rambam.
No, because he says that you're not allowed to learn Rambam. He took out all the Mari Nevuchim from all the shuls. It's a great guy. Email from him. I never opened up a Gemara. Sefer Menachos is my first siyum. Good afternoon, Rebelli. This email's late. There's a picture over here. I wanted to share a quick note of appreciation. I attended Jewish primary and secondary school, but never really continued learning afterward, and surely never opened up a Gemara on my own. Today, I've just completed my first siyum on Sefer Menachos, and Yeshir played a huge role in making that possible. The way you simplify the daf and bring it to life makes it accessible in a way I never thought it could be. A big part of my motivation came from my father, David, who started the daf 6 years ago with brachas and has been learning with you consistently ever since. Watching that level coming up close had a real impact on me. You always say something about the daf, it's about the yomi, and that idea stuck. One of the businesses I'm involved in is a gym, And I tell my clients all the time that anything can be scheduled if it's a priority. The daf became exactly that for me. Whether I'm sitting down or listening in the car, I make sure it gets done. I recently made a siyum and brought together a table of people from all different Jewish backgrounds: Orthodox, Chabad, Belz, Satmar, along with friends, colleagues from my business life, and rabbis from the shuls I'm involved with. The siyum reminded me of what your daily table looks like in Bet Shemesh. Regular people showing up to unite around Torah, a real Kiddush Hashem. You often speak about how daf changes lives. I'm starting to feel that myself. One of the biggest changes has been something simple but meaningful, Rabbi Isai. Wearing my kippah almost everywhere I go, something I wouldn't have done before, and now I do with confidence. It's a thing in America. It's a thing in America. You work in a all non-Jewish environment. It's very uncomfortable. Sometimes it feels very uncomfortable. It's a big challenge. Yeah, I do this. I didn't say more, and even more after sharing this milestone with one of my rabbis. He sent me the videos of himself jumping into Chullin, so I skipped a little bit. Proudly say I brought one more person into the journey. Thank you again for everything you're doing. You've opened the door for me that I didn't know was there. All the best, Zachary Steinloff, Montreal, Canada. Mazel Tov. Here he is. Rabbi Isai, Mazel Tov. Zachary is beautiful. I'll just read this quickly because I love the end also. I hope this message finds you well. I wanted to take a moment to share some exciting news. I've just completed 100 daf, and I could not let this milestone pass without reaching out to express my deepest gratitude. Your share has been an incredible source of inspiration and encouragement. The way you bring each daf to life, your clarity, your energy, your genuine passion for learning have made all the difference. Let me just skip to the end. Budin Brandis, Manchester, 14 years old. 100 daf feels like a real turning point for me. I'm looking more committed than ever to continue the journey. I look forward to every share, and I'm so grateful to be part of this. Some Israeli last night, when I read this, he says, 100 daf is like half this kid's life. Okay. Ezra Salam, Dafaholics Anonymous, Kiddushin Daf Beis, wearing the burqa, whatever, what is it called? Jalabiyah. 1,000 daf. MDY 1K status, Rabbi say. And here's another chevra from Netivot. They call themselves Shalom Arom, and they do the satellite location in Netivot from the Moroccan branch of MDY, Netivot. Now let me show you day 5. I received the email yesterday from somebody who said he's a little jealous of this trip. And the point of showing these videos is not to make people jealous. There's two types of people. People that enjoy other people seeing what they do, and people that live vicariously through the shir, and other people that it hurts them. No, we have enough interessante people in the shir. The one normale mensch that we have here just went out. There isn't Zemidabek. It's a problem.
Now we have a Baba in the shir. A Baba Noam.
Look cover the shir. Look cover the video. So Rabbi say, if you're a jealous type of person, try to work on yourself.
I'm just joined the KKK.
The Banyan Tree Hotel. This is in the rooms, by the way. You just showed the room. Yossi's out of it. He's thinking about something else, by the way. Rabbi said, I'm also jealous. I didn't go to the spa. I didn't see the spa. I was giving shir. All day shir. That was... This place is crazy. Shabbos Rabbi Isai. Reish. This is the part where they were singing to themselves, because Yossi said you have to sing from here to here, so they said nobody was there. Huh? That was one of the best parts, Shabbos. These things were. The cigars. The cigars are coming up. Here we go. Beautiful. Ah! Boys, we have to do sponsors.
Pays for these trips. No, come on.
No. Let me stop. What he just said throws people off. I gotta correct. Everybody that went on the trip paid for their way. MDY doesn't pay for trips. If you donate money to MDY, this year was $30,000. Next year it's going to be more probably. If you donate $30,000, then you could come on the trip and pay for the trip. That's who pays for the trip. But who pays for the coffee? Who pays for the lights here? Who pays for the guy up there? Who pays for the editors? Who pays for the Gemaras? Who pays for the koilel? Who pays for the 5 artists that we have, full-time artists? Those guys that went on the trip. And everybody else. There's a lot of people that didn't go on the trip, and they could have gone on the trip. They couldn't, whatever it is. But, sponsors, yeah. Official edition MDY Shas, Masechta Zevin Yal Sholhof, Daf Chov Ches, Weissman Chaim, in memory of Elko Bas Moshe Yitzchak. David Salomon dedicated in memory of Avri Mari, the whole Masechta. Reb Shmuel Baruch, Reb Chaim Tzvi, Doiv Zechron Levracha. The Masechta is sponsored by the Palachik Family Foundation, gratitude to the consortium and the alliance and all they do to support MDY. Anonymous, Hatzlacha Baruchnis of Gashmis, and thank you to Chief Benny. Here's the cheetah man. I want to talk about the cheetah today. Anonymous, for a complete refuah, Shleim and Arichas Yom, Talea Basester, Yom and Daniel Rosenfeld, Breeze Basimcha. The monthly sponsor, Arius Simon, L'Refuah Shleim Avi Mori Baruch Miriam, Binyamin and Daniel Rosenfeld, Parnaso B'Shefa. Weekly sponsors, the Spanish year. Sponsors, wishing the MDY family to continue that Tzlach and Siyad Shmai. I spoke to the Spanish. The guy behind the whole thing in Mexico, together with Mayor Planca. It's unbelievable. Every day it costs him $200-300. He's so excited. He loves MDY and he wants to spread it to all the Spanish people. Anonymous. On Moshe Markovich, yeah? Moshe Markovich. Anonymous. Hoidu Lashem ki toiv ki lo'olam chazdoi. Robert Early, the weekly sponsor. Preston Harris Group Recruitment, make money from the shear and give back to the shear. Who put that in? I didn't see this. I wouldn't have let it. Yaakov Slatus, huh?
There's an email that went along with it.
But I don't usually do, but it's Robert Early. I didn't see it. They stuck it in. Yaakov Slatus, what?
If you read the email, you'll understand why they put it in.
Okay. Fine. Yaakov Slatus, refuah shleima for my mother, Chaya Yachit Bas Brindel Karen Slatus. Yosef Cord, in commemoration of the yahrzeit of Yaakov Mordechai ben Yosef Halevi. Daily sponsors, Meir and Chaya Rivka Fischel. Meyer and Chaya Rivka Fischel. In honor, I didn't read before, in honor of the wedding of Sruli Goldstein and Brocha Bas Reb Yochanan Klein. Mazel Tov. Month, HYK Ventures in the schus for success of all our clients. Beyond and Daniel Rosenfeld, Brocha B'Parnasa. MDY Kids sponsors monthly. Innovations LC is schus for Hakim Sichot Ben Fagan, Rivka Yudis Bas Yafa Chaya. Monthly, RMDY Art. Refuah Shleima, Yehonatan Eitan Ben Bas Sheva Brocha. Just got a message from him the other day. From the hospital. Refuah Shleima, Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Hayela, Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. All right, I have a question for the Olam. The Olam should know this, but I saw the Israelis had an issue with it. So I'm going to ask the Shaila here. If a guy listen to this question. Mazel tov Baruch Shafnas. You weren't here when I said Mazel tov to you. Mazel tov on your son. Should be zoichdim gadlim l'toira l'chuppah l'masim toivim. Person takes a cow, shechs its trachea halfway, 50%, goes home, takes a nap for 4 hours, comes back, shechs the other 50%, and the esophagus. 50% of the kana, takes a nap, goes back, don't answer you over there. What's the halacha? Good or not good? Do not answer either. Not right. 45% in the morning, took a nap in the afternoon, came back and shechted. Good or not good? Rabbi Isai, you should know the answer to this. Good or not good? Not good. Good. The guy in the back says not good. Not good. Cost yesterday answered well. You might want to rethink what he said. Not good. Why not good? Why not good? Tell me why he's not good. Shihiyah. Shihiyah. Let's think about it. So Rabbi Isai, if he shechted 45%, is the animal treif or nevela? What is the animal? It's nothing. It's nothing. If it has a hole in the kana and the trachea, it's nothing. Up to a half, it's nothing. It's as if nothing happened. So let's start over again. You have an animal that has a cut trachea of less than 50%, so nothing happened to it. So he went to sleep. It's not a shehiyah. Pretend there's no shechita at all.
But it's also to do anyways. They're both not good.
It's a shtickle tzar bal chayim. That's not the point. I'm asking you: is the animal kosher or not? Are you? I didn't ask you if you're going to get him. I asked you if the kosher. Yes. Okay.
Kosher, but also.
Okay. Now that we know this.
I'm Rav Yehuda.
Omer Rav Yehuda. There's a story in Kedushin Daf Ayin Aleph. It says there Pinchas had a bunch of slaves, and he wanted to drop the big bomb. He wanted to tell them basically that they're puzzle. They're a bunch of psulim. But he knew that if he's going to tell them they're puzzle, they're going to kill him. They're going to start beating him up. So what did he do? He told them this line right over here. Omer Rav Yehuda Mishum Rabbi Yitzchak ben Pinchas. Ein shchita la'oif min ha'Torah. It's a very serious line, and it got these slaves thinking, Ein shchita la'oif min ha'Torah. You don't have to shecht a chicken. Chickens don't have to be shechted. But what do they have to do? Rashi says on the spot. This is super, super important, because if you just read the Gemara without Rashi, you can miss this point. You think, you could stab it in the heart. You could, I don't know what. No. You have to take care of those simanim somehow. You could take a plier maybe and rip the simanim. You could do chalada, you could do drisa, you could push down on the simanim and cut them. But the Yitzias Neshama has to be from that area. Like Cain and Hevel. He didn't know how to kill him, so he finally got to the neck. But it has to be from the neck. And shchita means you don't have to do the hilchah shchita of cutting back and forth, making sure there's no shehiyah, no drisa, no chalada, no akira. You can do an akira if you want. You do whatever you want, according to Rabbi Yitzchak ben Pinchas. So going back to that story in Kiddushin, he drops the bomb. He tells them, "There's no shchita min ha'Torah for chicken. You don't have to shech." And they went crazy. What? You don't have to shech the chicken? Everybody shechs chickens. By the way, you're a bunch of psulim. And they didn't really catch on to what he was saying, and he ran away. And by the time wait a minute, did he just say we're puzzle? And they started chasing him, but they couldn't catch it. That's what the Gemara says over there. Akol ponim. What's the pshat? There's something called Kisi Adam, Hizra, Weissfish, and AI, complete AI. How do I know it's AI? Because it'll take about 10 people to grab this animal. At least 10. Probably 10 wouldn't even do it. He just knocks it to the ground. It's almost his voice. And he's just sitting there, shecht me, I don't care. So if you shecht a deer, like that kind of animal, a gazelle, a deer, it's a chaya. You're chayiv in kisei adam. There's one other thing that you have to do kisei adam to, and that is a chicken, a bird. This is the pasuk. V'ishish mibnei Yisrael sheyasod tzeid. You trap chaya, oyoif, or a bird. V'shafach es damai. You spilled its blood with chisol ba'afer. So Gemara wants to learn that the word v'shafach is very strange. V'shafach means you spilled its blood. You killed it. It doesn't say shchita. It should have said v'shafach is damai v'chisol ba'afer. V'shafach is a lashon of non-shchita. So you see that a bird, you don't have to shecht. What's the obvious question? What about a chaya? It's in the same pasuk. And v'shafach goes in a chaya too. So, says the Gemara, Shenemar v'shafach b'shpicha v'al b'sagi, just spilling its blood is okay. Yachi chayinami. So if so, it would come out that a wild animal too, you don't have to do shchita. Says Gemara, itkash l'psulei hamukdashim. There's something called psulei hamukdashim. Basically, if I bring a sheep to the Beis Hamikdash as a carbon, and I find out that it has a broken leg on the way, so I have to redeem it. And now what? Once it's redeemed, what do I do? So the Torah says, this is the pasuk, b'shorecha techlenu, you could eat it normally in your house, b'shorecha, in your gates. It doesn't have to be in the Beis Hamikdash. Hatami b'atar yachtav ketzivu chayo. You eat it like you eat a tzvi, like you eat a deer. What does that mean? You have to shecht it. Says Gemara, if not eat so if that's the case, then a bird also you would have to shecht, because we said yesterday that it says the word bird and behem in the same pasuk. The chsiv zoy starts ha behema va'oiv, and just like a behema you have to shecht, so to a bird. Well, you're right. Haksiv v'shavach's damai. But what should I do? I have this pasuk we just saw v'shavach, and that's an exclusion that you don't have to shecht. But it could be a chaya, it could be a oiv. Which one is it? It's only one of the two. Maybe the word v'shavach, that you spill its blood, goes on a chaya, not on a bird. It says Gemara Mistabrim from the Salgman. If you look at the pasuk here on the chart, it says chaya, oif, v'shafach. Which word is closest to the word v'shafach? The word oif. So oif is the one that you don't have to shecht. So now the Gemara is going to ask a bunch of questions on Rabbi Yitzchak ben Pinchas. He says that midday writes, and let's go back to Daf Chaf. We learned this about a week ago. There's three options when it comes to a bird. Either there's a pasuk that tells me that I have to shecht the chicken, or Moshe Rabbeinu heard it from the Rebbeinu Shalom. That's called Halacha LaMoshe Sinai. It's not in the Torah Mefurish, but Moshe Rabbeinu heard it. Or it's just the Rabbanan. There's no reason to shecht a bird. Rabbanan said you have to shecht a bird. So we're going to ask a bunch of questions here. Meisvei. You're performing shchita, and you start shaking like a leaf, and you ruined the whole shchita. Now you went above the tabas agdoila, or like Rabbi Avram Weisfish pointed out to me, below this is the trachea. There's two areas that are puzzle, all the way on the top, by the tongue, where the trachea connects over there, by the tabas agdoila, but also where it connects to the lung. If you shecht below that area, it's also treif. We usually talk about the upper part, right? We don't usually shecht. Come to Ryan, find this. Is there an empty seat here? There's one empty seat. Oh, this seat's over here. Says the Gemara, it says like this. HaNoicher v'ma'aker. You guys remember what noicher is? It's a pretty interesting picture. If you're grossed out from these things, don't look. Cutting like the wrong way, slicing from the chin all the way down, here like this. V'ma'aker, or somebody who uproots the trachea. Patur milachasois. Check this out. If we go back to this pasuk, Kisi Adam, what does it say? Ashayot said, Chayoyoif asher ye'ochel. When do you do Kisi Adam? When you're about to eat from this animal. What if I take a deer and I shoot it in the head? I kill it. I hunted it. I killed it. Am I mechuyev in Kisi Adam? No, I'm not mechuyev in Kisi Adam because it's not a sheyochel. I can't eat it. So you understand the Gemara's question? The Gemara's question is as follows. If I don't have to do shechita on a chicken, there's no chiyuv. You say there's no shechita in a chicken. So I cut its neck this way, not that way. So I could still eat it. If I could still eat it, I should be mechuyev to do kisei adam. Why does it say here potam lechasis? I don't have to do kisei adam. That's how you can check it either way. Rashi just says you have to do some sort of action in the esophagus, in the trachea. That's it. You can do it with the pliers. You can do it with the scissors. You can do it in the chira. So you should be chayev for kisei adam. Says Gemara, you misunderstood. Misaris ba'if? Loi, b'chayev. You should have to do kisei adam. Says Gemara, misaris ba'if? Loi, b'chayev. That halacha of patim l'chasos is only in this picture right over here. Only in a deer. If you do this to a deer, you can't eat the deer, so you don't have to cover the blood. But if you do this exact action to a chicken, then you do have to do kisei adam. Why? Because you could eat the chicken according to Reb Pinchas. Tashma. Hashoich v'tzorch l'dam chayv l'chasis. Yeah. No. We're talking about what the Deraisa, I don't know what he holds. The minimum today, according to everybody, you have to shecht a bird, midrabana. We're talking about Deraisa. And the chiyuv of kisei adam Deraisa. Tashma. Today they do many things with the blood. Nothing goes to waste in the shlachtos. There's a lot of stuff you do. It becomes animal feed, all sorts of stuff. The fish, I don't know what. But in those days, there's one or two things you can do with the blood. Let's say you need the blood. One of the worst things that ever happened to me here in Israel, and I mean it's halavai, it should be from the worst things, but we got a magefa of moths. They have these little moths that attack your food. And they fly very slowly, and you think it's all geschmack. They come out, and you go like this, you kill it. You turn around, there's another one. And the whole day you're busy killing these guys, and they don't stop. They just keep on going. And another month, and it's the only way to get rid of them, Rabbi, if you ever have this, it's embarrassing. What?
Exterminate. We have this.
You also had it.
Exterminate.
You can't exterminate. They get into your food somehow. They get into like different packages that you don't even know that they could get into. The best thing is they have these fumigate. Okay, you're going to fumigate all your food, I guess. And I saw online, you take everything out and you fumigate, and then the back. It's like a machla. But they have these traps that the males are attracted to, and they go onto the glue trap. You put it's like a little strip. They go on. You come every day. There's 10, 20. It's like nonstop. 2 months, 3 months. Eventually, no more scharim, no more prow. Okay, I'm just. Letting the Olam know, this is just for public service announcement. It's okay. Last time I made a PSA, so the guy says he's going to bring me a gift. You don't have to bring me these traps from America. It's B'sei the Gomer. It wasn't, yeah. So anyway, you need the blood. You need blood. So what if you need blood? You have to cover the blood. And when you cover blood, guess what happens? It becomes, you can't use it anymore. You're covering it with all this dirt. It becomes, you can't use it. But I need to chase away these moths. What do? The only thing you can do is shoot it in the head. Do a nechira. Do not do a shchita. If you do a nechira, then what? Then you can't eat it. So if you can't eat it, then you don't have to do kisei adam. Same kind of question, same answer. We're talking about a bird. For these moths. Here, we even have a little gross thing with the moths. Here they go. Look at them. Mamish alive, eating this cloth. But if you put a drop of blood, yeah. Okay. Loi, b'chaya. We're talking about a chaya. Once again, the same idea. Chaya, of course, you can't eat a deer after you kill it and not shecht it. And what do you need the blood for? The kabbalah may lilaka. Going back to yesterday's video, I stole this from the video. This is mamish live. This is lilaka. They take a white piece of leather. You can see behind them it's kind of white, and he stains it with this. So instead of staining with yellow, they'll stain it with red. Tashma, again, what are we coming to answer? We're coming to answer Rabbi Yitzchak ben Pinchas, who says that you don't have to shech the bird min ha-Torah. Only min Rabbanan. It says molak v'sakin. What's molak? So Malika is, we're going to have to see this later, but we can show it here. Malika is where you take the fingernail and you go through the spine, and you get to the the esophagus, and then the trachea. You're going from the other side, from the nape. Now, if you did this with a knife, here, it starts over here. They said they had a major issue with
All right, Chevla, we made it to the big
Chevra,
moment. It's
Chullin,
time for the
they
Malika
couldn't get it
test.
to work.
Only the ones who pass this course will be ready
Bezer
to do
Hashem, half
Malika
hour, half
in the
a
Beit
year.
Hamikana. Young man, you're up first. Oh my goodness. Oy vey is mir. You got no nail to do the Malaka. So, what can I do? Wait, I got an idea.
And then he does, this is somebody else's video. This is better in Hebrew, much better in Hebrew. Metama Beisablia.
אכלת אותה!
In America, they're like, why are they laughing? What happened? Achalta ota. There's a saying, I'll just explain the people in America. Achalta ota means you ate it. It's a saying, like, you got what you deserved. You ate it. You ate it, so now you became tummy. Okay. Toshma. Okay? You never know. You never know what they laugh at. Toshma. No, the Israelis, they laughed. Over here, they laughed even more. So what just happened? Malak V'Sakin. What did he do? He ruined the whole thing. Malika is something reserved only in the Beis Hamikdash for a kayan. He cuts into the neck of the bird. The only way to kill a bird in the Beis Hamikdash is through Malika. You don't do shchita. This genius decides to do Malika with a knife. Which, what does it do? It renders the bird what? A treifa. Why? Because it breaks its neck. By the time he cuts his two simanim, it's a treifa. Let's think about it for a second. You have an animal that has a hole in its heart. It's a treifa. You only find out after you kill it that it had a giant nail stuck right through its heart. Treifa. But the person shechted this animal. It's a good shchita or not a good shchita? It's a good shchita. It takes off tumas. It's a good shchita. You can't eat the animal because it had a big giant nail in its heart.
Yeah.
But it takes off the tumah, 100%.
But you're shechting something that was not.
Doesn't matter. We learned it. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what. There's no tumah.
Really?
Shchita says in the nevela. Here. I'm just. The Gemara is going to say it in a second. Here we go. Says the Gemara. Yeah, we learned it even. As you saw in the video, as soon as the bird goes into his throat, the back of his throat, the person becomes tamei. Ask the Gemara, v'yamr, in shchita loif ben hatayra, if you tell me that you don't have to really shech the bird, you're right. That when the knife goes through the spine, you created a treifa. It should be like every treifa, you take a knife, and you shecht, and you get rid of the treifa. So what do you see over here? Why doesn't it work? It doesn't work because you're doing drisa. You're doing chalada. The knife is hidden in the back. You're pushing hard through the spine. You're not going back and forth. That's the problem. So you see that you need a shchita. According to you, that you don't need shchita, what's the problem? Let him go through the back. Let him continue cutting through the simanim. And he did a nice shchita which removes the tumah. Why is this person tummy? I'm just going to throw something out here. It's again chazara. We just did it in the week or two. Why is this bird a treifa? This bird is an avela. When you break its neck, it becomes an avela, not a treifa. So what's the answer? We learned this. We have an answer to this. So I'm gonna tell you. Roy Bassa says Remendi. You're right. It becomes an avela. And an avela, you can't undo a shchita. If the animal's an avela, you can't take a dead chicken from a roadkill and shecht it. It's an avela. So that's only if you break its spine together with the muscle around the spine. So we said the only way to do it is go from the side and not break the muscle. Not Rav Basar. Very good. There's a Meiser Shaya. There's a Musar Haskell here. Everybody can take their own Musar from it. That's a great. I like the Meiser because there's something to it. There's a guy that Loyaleno had a machla that the doctor said he has to eat pig. He has to eat pig. It's a frumiyid. He's going to eat pig. So he said, okay, he has to eat. The doctor said, so it's a chiyuv. He has to eat. But he's not going to buy it from a store. He's going to take the pig and he's going to shech the pig. At least he could shecht it. So he shechs the pig. Then he opens up the pig and he checks the lungs to see if they're kosher or not. So he had a shtickle problem with the lung. He wasn't sure. There's a sircha. So he goes to the rabbi and he asks the rabbi, ask the rabbi, is this lung of the pig, is it kosher? So the rabbi looks, he says, if this was a cow, yeah, it's kosher. But I can't say on a pig that it's kosher. I can't say this lung is kosher. I can't. The word pig and kosher don't go together. I'm just telling you that if it was a cow, it would be okay. So each person can take their own musar haskell. So sometimes what you're doing is you're being a chazer. You're acting like a chazer. You're acting incorrect. Can't give you a hechsher for your hanaga, your chazeruskeit. You can't be machshir a pig. Can't be machshir a pig. That's the side. You can't be machshir a pig. What you're doing, you're a pig. I can't be machshir that. I can't give you a stempel that what you're doing is okay.
Putting it actually on a phone.
Let's just say you didn't insult 5% of the share. You mean that 5%? That 5% don't even know who you are. The 5% you didn't insult, they don't even know who you are. Oh. Very interesting lashon. Beribi means galadar. Rebbe Elazar Kabbe, the galadar. So he holds, no, shchita of a bird is the minat Torah. I got to tell you this also. I said this before, I'm going to say it again. A gazelle, forget a tzvi, a deer is a slow. How fast could a deer run, Rabbi? How fast could a deer? 30, 40 miles an hour. The ones in America, 30, 40 miles an hour. But let's go to a gazelle. A gazelle in South Africa could run 50, 60. 60. But it's nothing compared to a cheetah who could run at 75 miles an hour. So the Mishnah should say, have a rotzke cheetah. It's not even, a cheetah is double the speed of a tzvi. Double the speed of a tzvi, and then probably, and at least 20 miles an hour more than a, what do you call it? The answer is, Rabbi Isai, that a cheetah, those who went to the safari, and those who live vicariously through those who go to the safari, no. Rabbi Isai, whoever's trying to open that piece of paper, okay. Don't. I'm going to bring Rabbi Ben Shushan on you, whoever you are. It's a minute, okay. 2 minutes, but a 3-minute opening of that bag doesn't know. Okay, so shkoyach, whoever you are, thanks for stopping. But the cheetah, but you ruined the short, that for sure.
Start again.
Start now. So it said the cheetah can run at 75 miles an hour, but only for a minute. Not only that, anybody knows, even after it catches its prey, it sits there literally for 10 to 15 minutes, huffing and puffing. It has to catch its breath. It almost dies It can't. A lion, after it catches a prey, immediately gets into it, takes a good 2 bites, starts eating, says it deserves a shtickle, has to rest. Not a cheetah, can't move. Sits there, and other, hyenas could come and grab it from him. Says the Tana, yeah, cheetah could run fast, but only for a minute. What wins? I want you to have a rotzke tzvi means the long distance. The everyday. The people that can learn stark all Shavuos night, 8 hours straight. It's a one-time thing, 2 times, 3. The guy that learns every single day, at the end of the day, he's going to win. At the end of the day, he finishes another Masechta and another Masechta and another thing, and he finishes Shas. That's what the Tana say. Zog the Gemara. It says before in the pasuk. Look at the pasuk. Nachamal. This psula mikdashim, this shlamim that has a broken leg, is going to be like a tzvi v'ka'ayil. What do we learn from it? It's interesting. You're trying to learn psula mikdashim from a deer, and fakert, the opposite happened. The deer, you're going to learn deer from psula mikdashim. A guy's a magid, he comes to teach Daf Yomi. He doesn't teach Daf Yomi, he learns Daf Yomi. The guy preparing the Daf, he learns, because he's teaching, he learns. Nimtza, it's just a mashal, yeah? He comes to Lamed, Nimtza Lamed. He comes to teach, he's the one that's actually learning it. Makish tzvi v'ayel p'sulei hamikdashim. Ma p'sulei hamikdashim b'shchita, tzvi v'ayel b'shchita fakert, the boy side. I didn't learn p'sulei hamikdashim from a deer. I learned that a deer, you have shchita in a deer from p'sulei hamikdashim. I thought I'm going to learn something from a deer. It turns out I learned deer from you. V'ay fein li shchita m'divrei Torah, elam m'divrei Yisrael. So it comes out from this pasuk that only a deer has shchita min Torah, but a chicken, according to this man Amar, a chicken is only from Chachamim. Chachamim, it's only the Rabbanan. So man Tana the Rebbe Kaper. Who's going to argue with the Galadar? Rabbeinu Kadosh, the one who wrote the Mishnah, he argues. What does he say? The Sanya Rebbe Yomer. V'zavachta kasher tzivisicha. Milamid shenistava moishal aveshet v'alkona. I want you to shecht v'zavachta like I commanded you. What is that I commanded you? I command you that you should shecht. The kohen the veshet do simanim. V'alroi v'echad ba'oif. Only one simon, I'm telling you right away, one simon with a bird. V'alroi shnayim b'behema. And two simanim. That's what I told you on Har Sinai. There's a Moridik Taisvis here. One of these incredible Taisvisin. Taisvis says, where did Rebbe get it from? Yesh Mefarshim, the Darsh Begematria. It was a Gematria. The Kasher, the word Kasher, or let's just take Aleph Shin Reish, Asher, Aleph Echad Boiv, Shin, Shnayim Bebehema, Reish, Rubish Elechad Kamayu. So it's not so much a Gematria, it's like a Rosh Tevis. So if you have a Hagoyz Tzionim, I want to read to you an unbelievable thing from the Rishonim. Ois Samach in the Hagoyz Tzionim, Nirish Yesh Chisarim B'divrei HaTaisvus. It's missing. Where's the Gematria? B'tzarech loyme k'moshe kotzev b'Balaturim. Balaturim, who's the Balaturim? The son of the Rosh. Arishan. He says, B'Shem Rabbeinu Yaakov in Kurvil, Ki kasher tzivisicha, and I did the math, kasher tzivisicha came out for me 1,047. B'Gematria. Here's the Gematria. That's what's missing from Taisvus. Roi v'echad b'oi v'roi v'shnayim b'behema. It's also 1,047. Kasher tzivisicha and Roi v'echad b'oi v'roi v'shnayim b'behema are identical, and that's Rebbe's remez from the pasuk. It's not the first time we saw that in Taisvus, but it's very rare. Gematria, that we're learning something from a Gematria. It's not a Kabbalistic, it's one of the things that you learn, Gematrios. Oh, so that's exactly, I once said this Vart. Kasher tzivisicha, you see Kusim do shchita, and Kusim are makbid on Drisa, Chalada, Shihia, and Ikur. What's the pshat? Because Kasher tzivisicha, it's the one time in the Torah that says, Mufurish, like I commanded you, and he didn't command. So even their Moida, that there was a halacha la Moshe Rabbeinu that Moshe Rabbeinu received it directly from HaKadosh Baruch Hu with all the halachas, and that's why they're makbid on it. Tzdukim. I'm talking about tzdukim. Kusim, tzdukim, the ones who don't believe in Torah Shebal Peh, believe in this one because it says Kasher Tzivisicha, that I gave you a Torah Shebal Peh. It was just a vart. I don't know if it's emes. No, it's not like brought down in Sfarim. It's a vart. Oh, guest. Shalom Aleichem, guest. This whole table I see are guests. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Mark. Shalom Aleichem. From where?
Woodmere.
Shalom Aleichem. And you, I'm sorry for disturbing you. What's your name?
Talking with you.
Ah, you're texting me?
No,
I'm trying
to understand how you walk.
you'll never understand.
Stop trying.
Stop trying. What's your name? From where? I don't know. Shalom Aleichem. And you?
David.
From? Shalom Aleichem, David. And you?
David Kleinman from Englewood, New Jersey.
Englewood, Shalom Aleichem. Who else is a guest? Oh, where's your uncle? Oh, he's your uncle. But you're also kind of new, no? You come every day, fine.
Down.
Oh, he doesn't want to look at me. Malishma. Baruch Hashem, what's your name? From Yerushalayim also? Mazeh. Zishuv. Cool. Nice. All right. Who's that kid across from me? What's your name? That's your son? Wow. Shlomi, how old are you? 10. Wow. You do the daf? Tries. Gewaldig. Okay. It's good stuff. No, the blood coming out. Gory stuff. Gewaldig. Okay. Zok the Gemara. Echel Boif. Rabbi Isai. We know that when it comes to the chicken, you don't have to shech both simanim, the kan and the veshet. Only one, midiraisa. Which one? Which one? Huh? Which one do you cut? Either. So that's the sugya. Machloikis. Echad ba'if. What's the first one? What's the first one that you hit? Imavir al mitzvahs. The first one is the trachea. Echad ba'if. Itmar Rav Nachman Omar oy veshes oy kana. You could either or. Ravada Barav Omar veshes v'loy kana. This is interesting. Only the esophagus, the food pipe, not the breathing pipe. Veshes v'loy kana. How do you get to the veshet without the kana? The way I always understood it, and it seems from Rashi says mafurish, that it goes kana, veshet, and spine, but it's not like that. The pictures, and I asked Rav Weisvish, it's a little bit on the angle. Like you could get to the veshet. It first comes kana, but to the side of it in the back. Here, I'll show you a picture. It's more like this. You see, first you hit the white, the kana, but the veshet is not directly behind it. The veshet is behind it, but slightly to the side. So you could actually come from an angle and just cut the veshet and not the kana. What does it say? Echad? Echad ba'if. What is echad? Miyuchad. The more important one. Why is the veshet more important than the kana? Because the veshet. I skipped. It says one or the other. Echad kaldu, either one you want. It says one, it means the more important one. The more we start off the shear. Kana, you could have a cut in the kana, and the animal's not even considered a treifa. You have a tiny little hole in the trachea, not in the trachea, in the esophagus. It's done. Wow, how did it get so late? This is simple. You're doing a shechita, you shechted the veshet, the kana, the veshet, the esophagus, and then the gargeres means the kana. Then the trachea pops out kshera. Why is it kosher? Because you did a great shechita, you shechted the veshet. Afterwards, something popped out. It popped out after the animal's dead, so it's kosher. But if the trachea popped out first, we had this halacha. If it popped out first, so it's a treifa, no good. What if you did a shechita on the how do you say it? The esophagus. And then you found that the trachea is popped out. You don't know when it popped out, before or after shechita. Is a story like that. But what's the Gemara's point? It doesn't say that a person shechted the trachea and the esophagus popped out. Why doesn't it say that? So what's the answer? Why doesn't it say that a person shechted the kana, he was shechting the trachea, and all of a sudden the esophagus popped out? So you see, the Gemara wants to point out, you see that you're not allowed to go, that's not a good shechita. The only good shechita is if you shech the esophagus and the trachea pops out. But if you shech the trachea and the esophagus pops out, it's not a good shechita, because you have to shech one siman, and which is that one siman? Only. But what's the real answer? The real answer is because it doesn't happen. It's not something that's common.
The muscle, it can't pop out.
Right. What could happen is for the trachea to pop out, but what never happens is that the esophagus pops out. Toshma, if a person shechted a half a siman of the trachea, half a siman of the esophagus, ba'if, in a bird, psula. Why? Because you didn't do a roiv of any of the simanim. And certainly if you did the same thing in an animal, it doesn't work. So it says, by Rabbi Yehuda says, by bird, and we're going to talk about this Rabbi Yehuda, you have to shecht the veshet. It doesn't say kana, it says veshet. Only the eating tube and the vridim. Let's see here, check this out. You have to get that vrid, that blue thing, the jugular, according to Rashi. But he says mafurish, only one, and which one? The esophagus, not the trachea. What says Gemara? No. Mishum veshet samach levridim. It's only because that jugular is next to the veshet over here. He shows a mamish next to it, so it's easier. But if you shech the kana and then the vridim, you're also good. When we learned last time, we learned Chullin. I think the Sichas Chullin brings it down. I didn't do research on it. He claims that the jugular by kosher animals is in the makam shchita. So when you cut the simanim, you get the jugular, you get all the good veins, and all the blood comes out. The animal dies very, very quickly. By non-kosher animals, he claims that the jugular is behind the spinal cord, and you can't get to it by regular shchita. Tashma. This is the question I asked in the beginning of Shir. You shecht a half a kana, a half a trachea, and you went to sleep. As long as it takes to do a shchita, and that's called shehiyah. And then he came and he finished off the job. Shchita. It's a good shchita. Why? Because the first time that you cut is not considered shchita. My love, boy. Look, we're talking about a bird. Over here you see that you could cut, you could do one siman, and even the trachea, even the kana. Loi, bebehema. You got both things wrong. When it said that it shechted it wasn't talking about a bird, it was talking about a behema. And when it said to finish, it didn't mean to finish off the trachea. It meant, my Gemara l'shchita kula, he finished both simanim. Tashma, harishaya chatzi kana pagum. If a person, same idea, comes, you find that the kana is half damaged, in other words, cut. And with a knife, he went and he made, instead of having, it has an incision, 45% incision on the trachea, he goes and he cuts more. And he finished it. Shchita sisher is a good shchita. My laboif, you're talking about a bird, and you see that you could be mekayim the mitzvah of shchita just on the trachea. Umay gemara lakana. Loi, same idea. Bebehema, we're only talking about an animal. He did this to an animal. Umay gemara leveshet. And it means he finished off not only the trachea, but also the esophagus, the veshet. Toshma. How do you do malika? Going back to malika, just to show it again. Malika is when you take your thumbnail and you go through the back of the neck, the nape, through the spine, into the esophagus, right through the trachea. It says mafurish over here. You should not cut the muscle, otherwise you'd render it an avela. But it says mafurish, you could get to either or. And it says mafurish, you could also just shecht the kana and your yaitz of malika. This is checkmate. It says either or, laveshet or lakana. You ask me, which one of the two are you shechting? We had a machlokes. Over here it says mafurish, even if I shecht the trachea, or not shecht, malika, the trachea, that's good. And once you get there, then you make sure you cut all the muscle. And you have to sever the whole head, so you have to cut both. Tiyufta the Ravada Barahava, Tiyufta is very, very strong. Says Gemara may have Allah. At the end of the day, which one of the two do you cut? My have Allah. I just established checkmate. No? Checkmate means checkmate. It means that you could cut either or. No. The reason why I think it's not a great raya, we're talking about malika. You're talking about going from the back, like this picture, going right through the mafrekas to the spine. Says Rashi, therefore, if I cut even the kana a little bit, it'll kill the animal because the animal's 3/4 dead to begin with. But if I'm coming from the other side, shchita is from the other side, maybe cutting the kana is not enough. Maybe the animal will continue living. Maybe it's not a good shchita. Toshma. Rabbi says story time. There was a duck, an injured duck. Its whole neck was full of blood. Now we have a big problem. How are you going to shech this duck? I need to shech it quickly before it dies, but I don't know if the blood is coming from the trachea, from the esophagus, from its tongue. Maybe it had a tooth problem. I don't know where the blood is coming from. What can we do here? It's a big problem. We'll do the sponsors after the story. I'm gonna shecht it. Then I'm gonna open up and see whether it had a hole in one of the two simonim. I can't check it. Why? Maybe the knife went exactly into the hole where this blood is the source of the blood, and I'm not gonna see the hole because I shechted it. So check to see if there's a hole beforehand. I can't. Why? Check this out. Beautiful picture. When I check the esophagus, I can't check on the left one. I can't see that there's a hole here. It blends right in. But if I check from the inside of the esophagus, since it's white, you can see the hole. Oh, but that's only after the animal's dead. I can't pull out a live duck's esophagus and turn it inside out and see if there's a thing. And if I did, what did I do? I made it a treifa on the spot. They say treifa, but I hear what you're saying. Okay. So this is Rav Yosef Brei. So Rav's son, his name was Rav Yosef. He says, I have a great idea. Nivdekei lekana. With your fingers, you could just run it up and down the trachea from outside and see if it has any holes in it. V'nishchatei lekana, and only cut through the kana. V'lichsherei. So they'll be kosher because I did one siman. So what do you see from the story right here? What do we see? That one siman could be the kana also. V'hadar, and after it's dead, lafchula veshet v'livdekei. Then you pull out the veshet and you'll check it. Amarava chakim Yosef v'riba treifais. Wow, that was powerful what you said. What a great idea. I love it. It's like Rabbi Yochanan. Rashi brings that Shmuel sent 13 camels to Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi say it's not that the whole Shabbos he was wearing this. He figured there's no video, there's nothing. Nobody's going to see him. It's unbelievable. All right, we have a video. Hold on. I'm here, but it's the middle of the story.
אולי אני טרייפה ודילמה במקום ני קייב כשוחית.
Check the esophagus afterwards. Okay. Ambo. Echad the Ka'amar. Oh, so when it says in the Mishnah Echad that you could check one of the Simanim, you could check even the Kana, because from this story, that was Rav Yosef's great idea to shecht just the Kana. Adar Global, Specialist International Financial Services, Chaim Milrad, Lina Shmasim Rossi, Frara Tobas, Yitzchak, Aleh Shalom. Rabbi Yehuda says you have to shecht the vridim. Question: why do you have to shecht the vridim? There's two reasons why you shecht the vridim. Either to drain, it's a practical way to drain all the blood. Obviously, you're not allowed to eat blood. It's the right to eat blood. So I have a practical way how to drain it. There's another reason. Maybe it's part of the shechita. Maybe it's like 2 simanim plus the jugular. What's an afkimina? Lamaisa, there's an afkimina. Do the halachas of shechita apply to the veins? Shehiyah, dris on the veins. Or no, take any device, take a plier and go like this and cut it. As long as you're able to drain the blood. He says, no, the reason is to drain the blood. I'm giving you practical advice, and it's only in a bird you need this practical advice. When it comes to an animal, since you're chopping it up into little pieces, it doesn't matter. Says Gemara the time they review the Mishum Damu. It's a practical thing. But now, how could that be? But now, Rabbi Yehuda actually yishchot is a vridim. He says in first the lashon of shchita on the jugular. You have to do shchita to the jugular. Ema actually nakev is a vridim. Poke the vridim. Here, we're going to see soon. I'm just going to steal it. But I told him, it was a little tough. People that don't like blood, so he changed it a little bit. In other words, it doesn't have to be shchita as long as you get all the liquids out. And you're not going to read them. So why does it say shchita? There's a whole, just real quickly, in the time of the Chassam Sofer, there's a whole machlokes between Poland and Hungary, because they used to take these ducks and fatten them. They would put a tube right down their mouth and stuff them, right? Geese. What is that? Foie gras. So Shaila, so some of the Rabbanim said it's a problem because when you stuff the funnel down its throat, no, forget that. You make it a treifa. You make a tiny little hole in the not in the trachea, in the esophagus. Small hole. A trachea is not a problem. Small hole. The problem is in the esophagus. So this whole should be done during shchita. The Gemara is going to say why. Tashma vridim b'shchita. It says mefura shchita. The Rebbe Yehuda, so you see it's an inyan of shchita, not an inyan of draining the blood. Ema vridim tzarich l'nakvim b'shas shchita. No, the inyan is to make a hole in it. When? During shchita. The Rebbe Yehuda. Tashma amar le Rebbe Yehuda. Machshel yehuskuru vridim elo haitzim dam mali b'shchita mali shloi b'shchita. If the whole point is just to drain this animal, why does it have to be done by shchita? Do it after shchita, 10 minutes later. Miklal the Rebbe Yehuda over b'shchita. You see that it is shchita because they're asking this question. Achi ka amri. What's the difference when you do the whole vusava and what's taka the svara? Why does he say do it only during shchita? It makes a lot of sense. It's chayim means hot, warm. When the blood is flowing easily, so it's much better to do it by shchita. But if you wait 10 minutes, it's not going to come out the car because it starts congealing. By Rabbi Yirmiyah, so Rashi says he didn't hear what Rav Chizda said. That it's a practical way to get all the blood out. Vridim l'Riyuda shaben daras be'mau. Is there a halachas a shchita on the jugular? Amar leo saba. Maybe it's Eliyahu Navi. Maybe not. Tachi Amar Rebbe Lazar. Amar leo saba Rebbe Lazar. Tachi Amar Rebbe Yochanan. Min nakvam bekoitz. This picture right over here. It doesn't have to be shchita as long as you make a hole in it and drain it, that's enough. Just 4 more lines. By the way, in our Gemara, I was very proud. In our Gemara, it says and it tells you what Rav Chizda said. Other Gemaras, no. We learned Rav Chizda on top of the Amid. I don't know. A lot of us don't even remember who Rav Chizda is, what he is. In our Gemara, we're makbid these kind of things to bring it in the official Gemara. What does it say? What does Rav Chizda say? That it's Rabbi Yehuda only said is halacha by a bird. By a bird, there's an issue of drainage. By an animal, there's no issue of draining. That's why Rabbi Yehuda said you have to shech the vridim. So Tanya Kavos said Rav Chizda write him. You shech the 2 halves, parcel. Rabbi Yehuda only in a bird like Rav Chizda. You should only in a bird. You have to shecht the vridim, the jugular. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.